Hi, my name is Marc from jazzguitarlessons.net and welcome to All the Things You Are Making the Changes, part 2. So this is a series of 3 videos that follows a blog post, and in fact, you know, the videos I can cover a lot more stuff and show you and have you hear what I'm talking about. So I took this blog post that will have a link here, and you can, I've extracted 3 videos out of it. So the first one was about targeting the thirds on All the Things You Are. You know, what are we doing if we want to outline the changes and not sound like we're just blowing in one scale. You know, you take a rock solo, you stay in the pentatonic, you should be fine. But if you're improvising, comes from a bebop perspective, you really want to clearly outline the harmony. So that's what we're doing here. So as I was saying in the first video, we covered thirds. So descending the scale, that's the third of the first chord to the third of the next chord, and so on and so on. In the second video, the second exercise is thinking of 1, 3, 5, 7 arpeggios. And you might say, yeah, well, you know, I already know the arpeggio, I can run them on the entire song, it's not a problem. Yes, but here's what you want to do to make sure that we hear the next chord, because that's our goal here is in fact just to make sure that we hear the change of the chord in your melody. So it means you don't have to comp the chord, it just means that melodically your solo is so strong that we will hear the chord change. And the simple recipe, the secret ingredient in the recipe is to target what does change at the point of chord change. And this magically is happening with thirds. So here we'll take a way to target the third by using an arpeggio, if you follow me. So let's start digging into the exercises. Oh, and before we start digging in the exercise, I have to mention I'll tune up with my brand new tuner. So this is one thing that I'm mentioning now recently in my videos, the Polytune clip, which is an amazing polyphonic tuner. You might have heard of their Polytune pedal, which is something that allows you to simply strum and see which string is out of tune. So I'm really fond of this thing. Here I'm going to do a checkup, just one strum, and I can know, oh, you know, my third string is a bit lower, but I don't have to tune all the strings individually one by one like this. I can, because it acts like a chromatic tuner when you do one string, but it's a really great product, so I'll put a link here. Okay, so how do we target thirds by using arpeggios, you might be asking. So here's the thing. The example on the blog post, and of course you can download the PDF to have all the exercise on the entire form of All the Things You Are, is using the first arpeggio 1, 3, 5, 7. So here's an F minor, or F minor 7, here. All you have to do from there is to go down to the next diatonic note that's down from there. So if you do, that's the third of B minor 7. And you can keep doing so over the entire form. So I'll play you the first few bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's B minor 7. That's A flat 7. That's G7. So now it would go to C minor 7. To F minor 7, and etc. So that's a really powerful thing that you can do, because I hear guys often, even intermediate players and even good players, they go like this. And if you do 1, 3, 5 everywhere, that's fine, you're playing the right notes, but you're not giving any sense of resolution. You know, where does that note go? Where does it want to go in terms of gravity? And since you probably already know, the chords in the cycle of fourth have a very strong gravity going down. So that's what we're aiming here, by aiming the third by the same token as playing an arpeggio. And you've probably guessed, if I start here, if you know the tune All the Things You Are, right? F minor 7 to B flat minor 7, E flat minor 7 arpeggio to A flat 7. I can also do the opposite. I can start with just a third of F minor. That's the arpeggio of B minor 7 going to A flat, right? So so you can either start in bar 1 and complete that full 1, 3, 5, 7 arpeggio resolving to the third, 1, 3, 5, 7, and it's going to work. It works pretty much everywhere. Or you can start in bar 2. So say you're F minor 7, either you leave it silent or you just play the third. Another interesting thing, before I let you go, that was part 2. So in part 1, if you've watched it, I started to tell you, well, if you go down the scale, at some point you're gonna miss frets. You're gonna go like, "Ooh, I don't have any frets anymore," to keep going down. So you have to do an arpeggio spin. So my example, the one that is in the blog post, is this one. Spin up the octave. So etc. So you can really spin when you want. But the same arpeggio thing, the same octave spinning thing happens with arpeggios also if you want. So for example, that's in the blog post. You can decide to shift an octave up or down when you feel your arpeggio is like getting out of hand here in the top frets or in the bottom frets. You can always spin it. All right. So I'll see you in part 3. And thanks for watching. My name is Marc from jazzguitarlessons.net. Improve your jazz guitar playing with a real teacher. Take care.